Good morning and welcome back to another WestysAngling. You're joining me on a freezing November morning today on the River Ribble, and we're going to be doing some trotting on the old Centrepin for grayling. Now, before we get fishing, I'm going to run you through the setup very quickly. I'm saying quickly because it is a very simple setup. So I'm using my Autumn Glide rod, the 12 to 14 foot version, but I'm using it in the 14 foot configuration, and I've paired that with the Autumn Glide Centrepin. A lot of the gear that I'm using today is Autumn because it's quality stuff, not sponsored or anything like that, folks, just what I've chosen to use. For a float, I'm using a little Autumn Glide stubber, and I've just got that shotted down with some BB, and then about 6 inch from the hook, I've got a tiny little number 8 shot. I'm using a decent sized hook today because I was losing a lot of fish the last time I come and did some Centrepin fishing. So I've upped the size of the hook to a size 12. And I think that's just going to help us nail the fish a little bit better. As I've said to you folks, I'm going to be primarily targeting grayling today, but if I get other species, all the better. I think my main struggle today is going to be getting the flow to take the float downstream, because it is very low and slow today, the River Ribble. Having said that, it's a beautiful morning and it's looking promising for a few fish. Let's see if we can get some grayling on the bank, folks. I think I might need another BB shot on here, folks. I've just been checking my shotting and I've just caught a minnow on a burr hook. Like, proper mouth hooked it and everything, look. It's not foul hooked. What are the chances of that? The minnow king. Can't believe it. Well, at least we've saved the blank there, folks. I'm having to actually flick line off the Centrepin as I'm going. Oh, bit of a bite there. Might be better us going to the other side of this bend, and hopefully the flow just picks up a touch on the other side. Just wouldn't mind a couple of first fish here. It's definitely getting knocked by something. See if we can get a bit closer to that back edge, but it does get really deep there. But folks, we've already saved the blank with the minnow. Didn't need to buy any maggots for that though. These little Autumn stubber floats are perfect for this when it's so slow moving. You don't need a massive stick float, just something that's just going to drift downstream really slowly. Here we go. Grayling, folks, I think. Let's see if we can get it landed. Is it a grayling? Yeah. Oh my god. Perfect. I've put the net on a magnet so it's nice and easy to unhook these fish. They're going to be like blocks of ice though. Absolutely nailed those maggots and that size 12. It's very dark here, but look at that beautiful fish. Second cast in, and we've got what we come out for. There we go. She's swimming away. I'm not putting loads of maggots in either. One, because I've only got a pint. I don't want to overfeed them. It's very difficult to overfeed with maggots, but I've been watching the fella that's fishing in the peg that I wanted to fish. By the looks of it, he's not had anything yet. So I've either just been really lucky there, or it's sheer fishing skill, folks. And it's probably not the latter. I'm using 6 pound line straight through today, which is more than strong enough for anything in here, I would have thought. There's a bit of a top there. Something's just come up in the water. Bet this gets absolutely nailed in a second. Yeah. I knew it would. I'm definitely getting a better hookup ratio today. Oh no! Lost it. Damn! That was another grayling as well. I was just saying, I'm definitely getting a better hookup ratio today. I'm using a size 12 maggot hook rather than a size 14. And it seems like they want the red maggots, so we're going to stick with them. If nobody's ever done this type of fishing before, folks, I do recommend it. It's very peaceful. Makes a change from your feeder fishing. Yeah, obviously, chances are I'm not going to catch anything massive, but on this light tackle, this light setup, it's very enjoyable. These little game fish. Grayling definitely have a bit of fight in them for the size. I'm fishing the same stretch of river today that I fished while doing the rod race, and I really enjoyed the Centrepin fishing. But look at this setting, folks. It is absolutely beautiful. This is a lovely stretch of the Ribble. I'm not going to tell you exactly which stretch of the Ribble I'm fishing, but the guys out there that fish the Ribble often will probably know where I am. I think I'm going to have a couple of casts here and then I'm going to move a bit further downstream. Minnow. And it shows you that using a bigger hook like this size 12 don't stop you from catching the smaller fish. Oh, what's this? This feels like a decent fish. It's fighting, this one. Awesome. I had a feeling about that underwater tree. That, folks, is grayling number 5 and it's back. There's no point me filming every single one of these grayling, folks. I'm just trying to film the better ones. But this submerged branch here, or coming off the back of it, just looked so fishy to me. And I've had 2 grayling on the bounce, that better one then and the smaller one. That's a nice cast. Close to that stump. You're not telling me there's not fish in and amongst those branches there, out the flow. Very chubby looking spot. Don't want to get too close to one because I don't want to get snagged on them. It's quite deep going out there. Oh, bit of a knock then maybe. I've only come down here for a few hours fishing today, but I'm hoping I'm still going to be able to get a few fish on the bank. What's this? Dace maybe? Oh no, it's a tiny little grayling. Well, they're obviously breeding. Look at this little beauty. Just had a mooch down and chatted to the bloke that's fishing in the stretch just before me, and he's only had 1 grayling, so we're not doing so bad. Always watching the river for topping. If you see topping, that's where you want to be trotting, folks. But I think I'm going to wade out and see if I can maybe trot down that far side. Wonder if I can get a bit further over. Nah, it's too deep. It's too deep. Just about 4 or 5 foot there. Oh, that water is freezing, cutting right through these thermal waders. I don't want to make too much disturbance because I think they'll be the other side of this rocky outcrop here. Right. Oh, lost my footing. Bloody hell, Westy. Don't be going in. Oh, I've had a brew and give the swim a bit of a rest. Sometimes you'll find that you get pretty quick bites like that once you've given it a rest. So for the beginners out there, I'm keeping my rod tip fairly high. And just every now and again, I'm just taking up that slack line and it kicks the hook length up in the water and flutters the maggots. Might be being pulled under there rather than a fish. Oh no, it's definitely a fish. Where's the minnow? Have we still got it on? Oh, they are actually really nice looking fish, these minnows. Very yellow underneath and very dark on top. Look at that. I just can't get it right with the lighting today, folks. It's too bloody bright in this swim. That sun is beaming down, but it is still freezing. But the fella that was fishing here, he's moved off, he's gone home, and I can see grayling topping where he's been feeding. So I think I'd be stupid not to have a few runs down that back edge. I'm going to do that. I've just had a brew. I'm feeling refreshed. Let's see if we can get a couple more grayling before we have to pack up. This is a much better swim for trotting because it's shallow all the way out and then it deepens up down the back edge and the flow's really quick. And you can get your little bobber float right on the edge of that flow and let it take it all the way downstream. And I can literally see the grayling topping. I was watching the fella fishing while I was having a brew before, as you do, being nosy, seeing what he was doing, and I don't think he was fishing far enough across compared to where I've seen the grayling topping. But I feel for him because I don't think he had any sunglasses. Look at how much quicker this is, folks, on the Centrepin. Look at that run. I don't think he had any sunglasses and it's very difficult to see your float when you don't have shades on. We've got a few maggots left, so we might as well use them. So what are we here? It's about knee deep. Let's adjust the float correctly. It doesn't have to be perfect, this, folks. You can play about with it. So that's probably about right where we are there. And we'll get right down that back edge. Again, constantly adjusting the float. Feeding maggots. Stood on my net. Oh, it's going quick there. Yeah, there's just no way that he would have been able to see his float. I'm watching the line more than the float. Bit of a bite there. Yep. This feels big, folks. This is a good grayling. Oh, come on, please stay on. God, it's fighting hard, this. I don't even know if it is a grayling. It's coming in. Where's my net? I'm going to keep the tension on it. Oh, it's fighting this hard. This might be a male grayling. I think I've only caught females up to now. Oh my gosh. This is fighting. I'm giving it some stick here, folks. I don't want the hook to pull, but also I don't want it going in that flow. Yeah, that's a good grayling. Male grayling, I think. That is a PB for sure, and it is a male grayling. Oh my God, that's massive. Look at the size of that. I knew it was worth a run down this peg. Well, let's have a closer look at this fish. Let me kneel down here in the water just in case I drop it. Let's get the net under it. I want a good look at him. Look at that. In that autumn sun. Let's recover this fish properly. You've got to give them enough time, folks, because they really do fight hard. They give it everything that they've got. There he goes. What a beauty. Well, I can't explain to you how chuffed I am at catching that fish. That's my first male grayling and it was an absolute cracker. You'll have to tell me in the comments how much you think it weighs. I would say it were at least about probably £1.5, £2, something like that. Maybe even bigger. It fought like an absolute demon. Like I said, that's the first male grayling that I've ever caught, and they do fight a hell of a lot harder than the females. As soon as they get into that flow and they put that big fin up. Let's see if we can get another one. Better. Wrapped up around the free spool. If it's not flowing off correctly, you know that there's a problem. Well, I'm too far to the left there. The fish are topping right in this back channel. It's probably really hard for you to see on the GoPro because of the sun, but they are topping still. There we go, let's pull it back into the flow. That's it, there we go. That's better. That's where we want it. I mean, again, that was right there. That was right there at my feet. Another female grayling. These are the bigger ones. They seem to be bigger down here. Happy days, folks. Let's go for 3 maggots. Let's see if we can single out these bigger fish. Oh, they're topping all the way down here. Literally going to be a grayling a chuck. Oh. This is, I think, a small male. It's fighting really hard. And that's a female. Just a really angry one. Grayling number 13, 14 going back, something like that. Oh, not him in again. I'm just sorting my rod out. At least let me get ready. I'll have to take this over here and sort my rod out. Lines everywhere. Right, let's have a few more runs. Let's carry on. I've probably got another half an hour that I can spare. Well, to be honest with you, I don't have any more time that I can spare, but the fishing's that good. I've not filmed them all, but it's just been grayling after grayling since I moved over to this peg anyway. They've been taking it at my feet before I've even reset the rod and sorted my line out. Believe it or not, I even had one of them take a burr hook. So they're proper on it. They're loving these maggots. It must be the maggot smell on the hook that they just wanted. Straight away, bite. Missed it, but weirdly, we've had no other species today. Just grayling and minnows. No dace, no chub, but the river is very low and slow, so that could have something to do with it. God, they're going mad. They're topping all the way down this side. They seem to take it a little bit easier on the edge of the flow. I'm still getting bites to the left, but they're definitely nailing it quicker to the right. They're probably dipping in and out of that high flow area. Yeah, I mean, oh, acrobatics, folks. The acrobatics. It's coming towards me. Oh, this one's fighting hard as well. It's absolutely crazy how much energy they have in this cold water. It's another good one, I think. Bleeding now, left my net over there. Let's see if we can get it with our hands. Oh, this is a brownie. An out of season brownie. No wonder it had the acrobatics. I'll just get this back as soon as I can. Sorry, pal, didn't mean to catch you. We're after grayling. Unfortunately, that's a hazard of fish at a game stretch. You sometimes catch out of season fish. Almost out of maggots, folks. Perfect amount for this session. A pint. Here we are. This is fighting as well. I hope this isn't another brownie. And it's doing a lot of splashing about. Could be another male grayling. Putting a bend in this rod, this one. Yeah, it's fighting probably a touch too hard for a brownie. God, it is putting a bend in the rod. Look at that. Yeah, it's a male grayling, this. Don't want to lose it. God, that's bigger than the last one. What do we think? Yeah, it is much bigger. That's bleeding massive. Look at that fish. Absolutely beautiful, aren't they? These definitely want to go straight back. He's gone to the safest place, which is between my legs. It's going to have to be the last couple of runs, this, folks. Really enjoyed today. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching it as well. What's this? Is it another brownie? Tiny little brownie. Look at the patterns on that one. There we go. Got it out with the disgorger. Absolutely tiny little brown trout. Thanks, pal. Straight off. Well, folks, what an absolutely epic session today's turned out to be. Trotting for grayling on the old Coram Glide Centrepin setup. It's been so enjoyable. I've had my first male grayling, which is absolutely epic. It fought like an absolute demon as well. So I'm really chuffed with that, and I just want to say I really hope you've enjoyed the video as well. If you have, again, please hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions about the Centrepin setup, about the fishing, about anything, please don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comment section. I always try and get back to comments where I can, and if you really enjoy the video, hit that like button for me as well, and I'll see you in the next Westies Angling. I've not a clue what we're going to be doing. It's always something different every week on the channel, so I'll see you next time, folks.